Shelley. As said, I'm Gary Vanderwell. I'm the owner of Preferred Towing and the president of the Professional Towing Association of Ontario. And we are under a big change right now within our industry. We're getting regulated, which we have supported. We're looking to change the views and the images of our industry, and unfortunately, there's a few bad actors within our industry that have created huge problems for all of us, everybody in this room.
We just talk about the auctions. Oh my God. So the silent auctions are set up for yourselves for Christmas and whatever. I mean, perfect time to do this now. 100% of the donations for the auctions goes to human trafficking.
And scalability. And as we talk about AI, AI is coming. We're still going to see where self-driving vehicles go. Can they work in snow? That's the big $1 million question, because right now they don't work too good in snow. But David and Gary, why don't you take us through a little bit of what you think? David, why don't you kick off?
Thanks very much, Richard. And Samantha, Fiona, and you see tons of unforeseen circumstances that will trip you up. So, number one, I broke it down to 3 do's and 3 don'ts. I'm gonna go quick. 1 do, know your goals. If you're not, and it sounds very simple, but if you're not crystal clear on your goals, the salesperson trying to sell you the product will be, and it's for their best interest, not yours.
Those calls. Throughout the day, calls are coming. We're on a minute-by-minute basis. So we do different. Where your trucking industry, and I don't know the trucking industry 100%, but I'm assuming that on a daily basis, you're going to know a week, 2, maybe a month in advance of what that day looks like. For us, that's not the case. Every day, we're Minutemen and that are out on these jobs, so we'll get the call and we're going in different directions. So.
But what that's allowing us to do is to build standard operating procedures on how to complete a job properly. So we just recently had an experience where one of our staff was off for maternity leave. We implemented a customer service, kind of how to manage a particular customer. And she was able to come back and just work through SENI and work through the SOPs that were set up, the AI that was set up, and very quickly get up to speed and learn that.
But I put my hand up and kind of observe. I put my hand up to come and speak because something I'm very, very passionate about. Developing people, looking at it through a different lens. And when I work for an organization that is all in on all things.
Many years to come, once you experience something like this. That was me before I was traffic. I actually had a company when I was very young, from the age of 16 to 21. I was directing music videos and editing, believe it or not, and I was heavy in the music scene. That's me on the right, directing a music video for one of the largest, most famous band in Hungary at the time. And that's me on the left, about how many pounds did I lose? So I was 122 when I came to Canada, and I was about 85, 90 pounds when I escaped. And that's me on the right.
To me, mentorship is more about guidance. It's about connection, accountability, and helping others unlock their potential.
And you need to have a good development plan within your company in order to prepare your business. You can't just decide overnight, well, we're going to have 50% representation of women, because then what do you do with that group of men?
We find that especially new females that come into GFL that are from the outside, they've got a fighting chance, because one of the things that we also found was that our processes and our thought processes from a management perspective, still are a little archaic in the sense that we want to be inclusive, we want everybody to have a chance, but unfortunately the system in place doesn't always allow us to do that. So
Talent loss, and you often don't really see it until they're already gone. And I know that when you have leadership in place, you can kind of get complacent.
Decision. That's just the reality of what it is. So when you look at things like shift times, for example, right, you have a lot of positions in operations that kind of start and end in times where parents have to take their kids to school or pick their kids up from school.
She exemplifies the spirit of a true change maker whose resilience, innovation, and compassion continue to spark lasting social impact. So Timea, if you could please come up. Her impact is lasting and deeply felt, making her truly deserving candidate for this recognition. So this year's Mentor of the Year award goes to Stephanie Bray, Laidlaw Bow. This year's Jerry Cox Allyship Award goes to Kevin Jennings from GFL.
And she'll call me and go, hey, guess what? And we talk for the next hour on the way into work. And it's great. And we solve all the problems of the world, by the way. We have this industry fixed by the time I get to work. And a couple days later, we start all over again.
It's called confirmation bias. Instead of looking for new relevant information, empathy narrows. We tend to see people as tasks or roles or a means to an end instead of the human being behind it. And then language collapses. We skip the nuances and we tend to speak in absolutes.
And the winner is ending 2046. Shut up.
They would show up as wanting to be a mechanic, but they would leave as a baker, because we also have hospitality. So it really worked for us to say, hey, listen, you know what? You can't have a 14-year-old choose the rest of their lives. So what we started doing was planning different ways to encourage students to not only get into a skilled trade, but get into it and like it.
And everything off. We thank you all so much for coming. Yet again, your support, it's much appreciated. Thank you to Shelley, our fearless leader, for leading the way and making sure we're all in check and in line all the time and getting things done. And of course, our team. We have a pretty amazing team. We work hard to put this together for you, along with a lot of other things we try to do for our members. On that note, I also wanted to, if anyone has any questions about becoming a member, supporting the human trafficking campaign, wrapping a trailer, please reach out. We'd love to get in contact with you. And we're always looking for, if you want to volunteer your time to help us out with the different things that we have going on. I'd love to connect on that front as well. So thank you again. Have a great day. Drive safe.